Hello everyone, welcome to the course How to Sell Print-on-Demand Jewelry, the Complete Beginner's Guide. And when I say the Complete Beginner's Guide, I mean it. This is an A to Z course. Don't worry if you don't know what print-on-demand or print-on-demand jewelry is. If you're starting from scratch, that's completely okay. If you are already familiar with some of these terms or already have a store connected, we've divided this course in easy to follow modules. So please feel free to find the module where you feel is the best place to start, or you can watch from the beginning to refresh any knowledge you may want to go over again. A little bit about me. My name is Alex and I've been with Awkward Styles for 3.5 years, and I'm going to be your print-on-demand guide today. Now, before we start, I do want to say a massive congratulations to you for taking the first step towards the rest of your life. Sometimes taking action is the hardest thing to do, taking that first step towards a new business or any new adventure in life. So I am very happy to have you here, and I hope that you guys take away at least a little bit of knowledge from this course. Okay, what to expect from this course? As I mentioned, we divided it into modules. In the first module, I'm going back to the basics. I'm talking what is print-on-demand, what print-on-demand jewelry means, the different kinds that you can find with different providers, and the kind of print-on-demand jewelry that Awkward Styles offers. In Module 2, I'm going to cover why you should sell print-on-demand jewelry. We're going to go over how it has a higher perceived value compared to other print-on-demand products, the low overhead costs that come with the print-on-demand business model, and a few other perks. In Module 3, I'm going to show you where you can sell print-on-demand jewelry based on the integrations that Awkward Styles offers. In Module 4, I'm going to walk you through how to integrate with Awkward Styles and how you can design your card on our mockup generator. Moving on to Module 5, I'm going to show you how to use AI to come up with text. I'm going to cover two AIs, ChatGPT and Canva, and I'm going to give you a formula that you can feed to ChatGPT to create prompts and attractive cards. In Module 6, I'm going to show you how you can design the card on different designer software. We're going to cover 3 main ones, which is Canva, Illustrator, and Kittl. And in Module 7, I'm going to show you how you can come up with tags and keywords with tools like Everbee and Allura. This is going to be a pretty lengthy course, so I encourage you to take your time, take notes, and to ask yourself, what action can I take from what I just learned? I recommend bookmarking the place where you last left off, or just leaving a little note for yourself. Grab a cup of coffee and make yourself comfortable. Let's get started. Module 1. What is print-on-demand jewelry? To understand what print-on-demand jewelry is, first we must understand what print-on-demand is. In essence, print-on-demand is a business model where you connect your online store, such as Etsy, Shopify, or WooCommerce, to a print provider like Awkward Styles, who then fulfills the order and ships it to your customer under your brand. This is a very broad explanation, but don't worry, I'm going to explain what this means for you. This means that you do not have to worry about inventory management. Your print provider, aka Awkward Styles, stores inventory of a pre-established catalog of products that you can customize with your own designs and text in their production facilities. So in Awkward Styles' case, we have over 150 products that you can sell on your store, and they're stored in our main facility in Santa Fe Springs, California, about an hour away from LA. Because printing on demand means that a product is not printed until after an order is placed by your customer on your store, this means that we have the luxury of having no order minimums. Yes, you heard that right. No order minimums. And you must be asking yourself, but how does that work? how do you guys get something out of it? And don't worry, I'll explain right now. Let's say that you create a listing for a really cute t-shirt and a customer buys that t-shirt. As soon as your customer places that order, Awkward Styles receives the order information, and that's when we charge you. We don't hold any funds before an order is placed. You are only charged after an order is placed in order for a product to go into production. This product cost is flat, so you're paying for the production and for the shipping cost. We do not take any commission or percentage or transaction fee on top of that. And we don't require you to have a certain amount of volume in order to start with print on demand. The next concept you need to understand is automated fulfillment. As I mentioned previously, when a customer places an order on your store, that's when we receive the order information. And if you configure your store settings to automatic fulfillment, as soon as we receive order information, your product is going straight into production. This means that after the setup process, fulfillment is automated. So every time you get an order that's linked to Awkward Styles, we will fulfill it. Print on demand is a very low risk business model to get started. This is because you don't have to buy upfront inventory or equipment because your print provider has already made that upfront investment for you. Now, this doesn't mean that it's always going to be $0 to start, since you might want to invest in a Shopify subscription or a design software subscription. But you can budget to start with $0 if you go about it just the right way. And even if you do decide to invest upfront on some subscriptions, it is still very low compared to other upfront investments with different business models. With print on demand, white labeling is available. That means that you can put your store name on the shipping label and there is no trace of Awkward Styles on there. So your customer will see that the package is coming from you, not from the print provider. You only pay when you receive an order, which is what I was explaining previously. You only need to pay to send an order to production. And this is on an on-demand basis. So you don't have to pay ahead for orders, you don't have to pay for us to keep inventory for you, or any other costs you might have in mind. Another cool thing about print on demand is that you can test many products and designs. Because you don't have to buy all this inventory up front, you can list many products and check your analytics to see what your audience likes, what's trending. If you want to put out a product immediately, you're at an advantage because you just need the design. You already have the product from your print provider, and all you have to do is list it on your store. And if it doesn't work out, that's completely fine. You can just delist it. You don't have to worry about any inventory sitting there and wondering how you're going to get rid of it because you won't have any to begin with. All of this means that you have a lot more time to concentrate on other aspects of your business. It means that you can focus more on your branding, on building your storefront if you have one, on building your website, on marketing, on getting your products out there, because you don't have to worry about shipping or printing the products for your customers. Okay, now, what is print-on-demand message card jewelry? So when you search print-on-demand jewelry, you're going to find that there's a few different types. Some jewelry can be engraved, some jewelry can be customized and welded, and then there is message card jewelry. What does this mean for you? It's a very simple concept, don't worry. Print-on-demand message card jewelry means that the product will include the piece of jewelry that is always going to stay the same, an elegant gift box that's included in the price you see, and the customizable part is the card. What's different about Awkward Styles message card jewelry is that you can customize the front and the back. Not only that, we've made it very easy to customize it right on our mockup generator, just like you would customize any other product on our catalog, which you cannot do with other providers. Throughout this course, I'm going to show you how you can customize the front, and I'm going to give you some ideas on how you can customize the back of the card, how to take maximum advantage of that. Now that you know what print-on-demand is and what print-on-demand jewelry is, let's get into why you should sell it. For starters, the online jewelry market had an estimated annual worldwide market value of $24.83 billion in 2021, according to Statista, and it's only estimated to go up from there. Statista actually estimates that it's going to rise up to $58.9 billion annual dollars by 2027. You definitely want to get a piece of the pie from that. Next, print-on-demand jewelry is considered a high profit margin product because it has a higher perceived value than other print-on-demand products, such as a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. Thanks to the print-on-demand model, it has low overhead costs. With print-on-demand, as we discussed, there's no need to worry about inventory or storage costs, so this means that you can start a business with little to no upfront investments. You don't really need designer skills to get started with this, since the focal point of print-on-demand message card jewelry is the message itself, which we'll discuss more in detail later on in this course. Jewelry itself is timeless, so when combined with low overhead costs and with the extra touch that is the message card, it creates the perfect combination for a great product addition to your store. Another perk is that they are easily personalized. You can create a template and upload it to your store and say, to my blank, add a sentimental message to it, and you can allow for people to give you the name of a loved one or an adjective they want you to add in there. The possibilities are really endless, and personalization is quickly becoming a trend because of the high demand and how easy it is to get started with this business model. With Awkward Styles, you'll have over 25 choices to get started with print-on-demand jewelry. We have several necklace and bracelet styles. I hope that if you weren't already convinced to get started with this product, this has allowed you to understand the beauty of print-on-demand jewelry. Module 3, where to sell print-on-demand jewelry. In this module, I'm going to walk you through 3 platforms that you can sell on that integrate directly with Awkward Styles. The first one is the marketplace Etsy, and the second and third one are Shopify and WooCommerce. That is selling on a marketplace versus on your own website. I'm going to walk you through the differences with each one so that you can decide which one is the best for you. Where to sell print-on-demand jewelry, Part 2. Shopify and WooCommerce. These are 2 other integrations that Awkward Styles offers. And the main difference between these 2 and Etsy is that they are not a marketplace. They are your own website, meaning that you'll need external traffic. A shopper doesn't simply go on Shopify.com and search for funny cat t-shirt like they would on Etsy, for example. Instead, they may search for a specific store or a specific product on a search engine that leads to a seller's store that happens to be created on Shopify or WooCommerce. So this does mean that you don't have a pre-established audience that you can tap into, like with Etsy. However, just like Etsy, it has its own perks and some things that you may want to take into consideration to decide where you want to sell. Unlike Etsy, building your own website allows you to create a highly customizable online store with themes. You can access free and paid themes on both platforms. If you have a low startup budget, there is definitely no problem in starting and creating your store with a free theme. They include all of the landing pages that you need and very easy drag and drop templates. Both Shopify and WooCommerce have hundreds of apps that allow you to increase sales, such as email marketing, cart abandonment software, or print-on-demand apps like Awkward Styles. Additional apps or themes are optional. You do not need them to run your store. A pretty important characteristic is that the setup time is going to be significantly longer than with Etsy. To start selling on Etsy, all you really need is a banner, a profile picture, an About Us description, and your listings, of course. On the other hand, when you have your own website, you need to look into hosting, domains, and customizing your store. But I think this is a very fair trade-off for the freedom and liberty of creativity that you get with these two platforms. We've covered the basics of the difference between Etsy and your own website. However, I do think that these shouldn't be the only deciding factors to decide where you want to sell. Coming up, we're going to talk about how to set up your product prices and how transaction and platform costs can affect your pricing. And these may or may not influence your decision on where to sell print-on-demand products. Module 3.1, How to Set Your Prices. As we discussed in the previous lesson, there are several factors that will influence where you decide to sell your products, and how you're going to set your prices go hand in hand. So let's go over the formula that will help you decide your retail prices. It's very basic. There are pretty much 3 components to the formula. The first one is production costs. This includes the base price, any add-ons that you might have to your product, and shipping costs with your print-on-demand provider. Next, you add on any transaction and platform fees, and this is what's going to vary depending on where you decide to sell. And of course, you're going to pack in your desired profit margin. All of these are going to equal your retail price, the price that your customer sees at checkout. Let's look into what your production costs imply. First off, you're going to have your base free plan cost with Awkward Styles. This means what the product is going to cost you if you aren't subscribed to the Pro plan, which I'll explain in a minute. So for example, if we look at the birthstone necklace, you can see that the starting price in black text is starting from $12.90. What this base price includes is the 2-toned textured magnetic box, the necklace, and the customizable card on the front and back. The Pro Plan price is a discounted price given to everyone who is subscribed to the Pro Plan. And our Pro Plan at Awkward Styles is everything that you can get with the free plan, of course, and some added benefits. So you get up to 20% discount on all of our catalog, and you can connect up to 12 stores, which is an additional 7 stores to the number of stores that you can connect with the free plan. So for example, if you were to create a product with a birthstone necklace, and you're subscribed to the Pro Plan, then your base cost is going to be $11.20. And I didn't add it here on my slide, but you also need to take into consideration shipping costs. There are a few ways that you can get to the shipping cost of each product, so let's walk you through each one. The first way that you can check what the shipping cost for that product is going to be is by going directly to the product, like what you see in our screenshot right here. To get there, click on Product Catalog on the top tabs of the website. Click on Jewelry and then the piece that you want. And when you scroll down, you're going to see several tabs. You're going to go to the 6th tab where it says Shipping. And here, by default, it's going to be your region, but you can also check the shipping costs to all countries by clicking on the tab. And what you're going to see is a table with a breakdown for the first item's cost and the additional items cost to ship per country or region. Let's do a recap of how this works. The first item means that this is what you're going to be charged for the first item of its category shipped with that order. And the additional item means that any additional item from that same category shipped in that same order. So for example, let's say you get an order for 2 birthstone necklaces that are shipping within the US. Your total shipping cost is going to be $4.99 plus $1.99 because you have 2 items from the same category being shipped to the same place. But, for example, if you get an order for a birthstone necklace and a t-shirt, those are 2 different categories. So you're going to have to check the shipping price for the first item of a birthstone necklace shipped to the US and the shipping cost for a t-shirt as a first item to the US. This means that if you have, for example, an order for a large t-shirt and 1 birthstone necklace, then your total shipping cost is going to be $4.99 plus $4.50. If this is confusing for you, don't worry, we'll go over an example in a minute. Next for production costs is going to be any optional add-ons. In the jewelry's case, optional add-ons mean any luxury boxes that you want to add. At the moment, we only have the two-tone textured magnetic box, but soon we're going to offer a brown leather box and a mahogany lead box. These are going to come with different prices. So if you want to add listings to that, that would imply different production costs and therefore a higher retail price as well. Let's look at an example of production costs. So let's say that you just signed up to Awkward Styles, which means that you automatically get a 30-day trial to the Pro plan, which means that your base production cost is going to be $11.20 for the birthstone necklace, which you just got an order for. Your customer lives in Missouri, so your shipping cost is going to be $4.99. This means your total production cost for this order is going to be $16.19 plus tax. Let's move on to transaction and platform costs. Okay, part 2 of transaction and platform costs. Moving on to Shopify. Something I rarely see people talk about when discussing Shopify platform costs is the starter plan. Keep in mind that Shopify does offer other plans for scaling and growing businesses. However, since you're probably just starting out your store, I'm only going to cover the starter plan and the basic plan. I believe the starter plan was recently introduced last year around August to replace the Shopify Lite plan. The Shopify starter plan starts at $5 a month, and of course, with its lower cost, it also comes with limited functions. Let's go over what you can get with the Shopify starter plan. In here, you can insert some text letting them know where they can skip to if they want to learn just about the basic plan. The starter plan is perfect for you if you just want to sell mainly across socials or messaging platforms instead of building your own website and storefront. All you need to get started selling with Shopify Starter is an image and your product description. You can even sell across messaging apps like WhatsApp or Snapchat. Shopify Starter Plan also allows you to monetize the link in bio through an app called Link Pop. Don't worry, you still get essentials like order management, where you can manage your orders, receive them, manage, and fulfill them from your admin panel. You get some basic analytics like key performance metrics, so you can follow how your sales are doing, follow up on your customers, etc. And you still get customer support on Shopify's end. You do still have access to Shopify apps, so you can easily connect it to Awkward Styles. All right, so on top of your $5 a month, you're also going to be paying a 5% plus 30 cents flat for every payment transaction that you make. It's similar to Etsy's 6.5 transaction rate in that whatever your selling price is, Shopify is going to charge 5% plus 30 cents from that selling price. Then you're going to have transaction fees. If you use Shopify payments, you don't get charged a transaction fee, but if you use an external processor, you'll be charged 5% per transaction. Next, we have the most popular plan, which is the basic plan, and that one starts at $29 a month if you go for the annual payment. If you go on a month-to-month basis and you're not ready for the yearly commitment yet while you build out your store, then you're going to be paying $39 a month. Although right now Shopify does have a deal where you pay $1 for the first 3 months, which is a pretty good trial to set up your store and see if you like it, and then you can go either the month-to-month basis or a yearly payment. With the basic plan on top of your $29 a month payment, for every transaction you'll be charged 2.9% plus a 30 flat cent fee, which is less than the starter plan because the monthly payment is higher. With transaction fees, it's the same thing. If you use Shopify payments, you won't be charged per transaction. And if you use any other processors, it's 3% less, so you're charged 2% for every transaction. Calculating your profit with Shopify is a little bit different than Etsy since you do have that monthly subscription. So in order to calculate your profit and revenue when using Shopify, I recommend doing a weekly or monthly basis, especially if you're using any Shopify apps or any other tools that require monthly subscriptions. So at the end of the month or week, you can add up all of your costs for that week, what you sold, and then find what your profit was. This will help you adjust your marketing strategies and figure out how many sales you need to make in order to first break even and then generate profit as you go. Next up, we're going to review transaction and platform costs when using WooCommerce. Finally, let's check out the transaction and platform costs that you'll be charged if you go with WooCommerce. There aren't any monthly fees from the from the plugin WooCommerce itself. However, you will need a monthly hosting plan in order to keep your website up, which isn't too much itself. It's about $10 to $12, an estimate given by WooCommerce itself, so about $120 yearly. Aside from that, you would also have to pay a yearly domain fee, which would be about $15 per year. The only transaction fees that you'll need to pay when using WooCommerce are transaction fees, and if you go with WooCommerce payments, then you'll be paying 2.9% plus a 30-cent flat rate fee on every sale generated. Much like Shopify, you also have optional add-ons. You can optimize your website and your store. Thanks to the large community of developers that WooCommerce and WordPress has, there are actually quite a bit of free plugins that could also help you get your store up and running. And just like with Shopify, when it comes to calculating your profit, I recommend taking into account these monthly and yearly expenses by analyzing what your cost and your revenue is each month. You should regularly look at your KPIs and analytics to see if you need to make any changes to your prices, if you have some space to offer some discounts, and what you can do to optimize your store in order to increase your conversion rate. In the next lesson, we're going to discuss profit margins, what factors to take into account when deciding what your profit margin should be for a given product. We have finally made it to my favorite part of the formula required to price your products, and that is incorporating our desired profit margin. And you'll see why that is my absolutely favorite part when it comes to print-on-demand jewelry. As we mentioned before, jewelry does have a higher perceived value, so the default markup is going to be from 150% to 250%. Awkward Styles automatically gives you a default markup of 150% for bracelets and 250% for necklaces. You can modify your default markup by going to your stores on your dashboard, select the store that you want to modify or where you're going to be selling jewelry, click on the green settings button, go to advanced, and there you'll be able to find the default markup for all products and then specifically for necklaces and bracelets. As you can see, the default markup on most print-on-demand products is going to be 40%. So that is a sizable difference between jewelry and other products in POD catalogs. This is because a necklace, for example, the gold-plated sideways cross, is going to be perceived as a higher value product or as something that would be priced more expensive than a t-shirt, for example. There are a few things that you can do as a seller to increase and go above that 150 to 250 default markup. For example, you can find a niche that has low competition and a high search volume, something that is creative and you know that people would want to buy and not many people are selling. So create a unique phrase and create supply and demand around it. So there aren't many people that are creating a necklace in this niche, but you know that you can create a very unique emotional tie to it with a phrase that you haven't seen around, with something that is more than just a generic phrase, then you can definitely, no problem, charge the 250 to 300% markup. Another way to increase your perceived value on your product is by adding a luxury box. Without a doubt, you can price a necklace coming in an LED box, one that lights up when you open it, than the base textured magnetic box. Although both look very elegant and they package your jewelry very nicely. But adding that extra touch can definitely allow you to increase your price. And something that I will never tire talking about is branding. Branding, storytelling, color palettes, logos, slogans, these have all helped brands make it or break it. How can you, as a small online store, use branding to your advantage? Well, you can start simple. You can start by using product videos, by creating cohesive listings. So that means using the same color palette in your mockups, using similar font or designs. And of course, you can always go the social media marketing route, although this does require more time and some testing to see what your audience likes. Luckily, Awkward Styles provides a product asset repository for every jewelry product. You can download dozens of professionally taken photos and videos directly from the product catalog. As you can see here, there's a video of the model turning with the jewelry piece on. You have the box alone in a clean environment, opening the box, showing the product off. And then the third video is a podium turning, showing the piece of jewelry rotating. You can also find model photos with different backgrounds or with just a plain white background. You can find a picture of just the piece of jewelry on top of the textured magnetic box, a photo of just the necklace piece with a white background, and product photos with information on product dimensions. So make sure to take advantage of these. These don't have any extra cost. You can upload them directly from your product upload page from Awkward Styles, or use them for other purposes such as social media, creating ads, and there's just so many options, lots of possibilities of what you can use these assets for. Now we've gone over the 3 parts of the formula on how to set our prices. Let's go over some examples. Let's say you're selling on Etsy and you're uploading a listing for the Endless Connection Interlocking Circles necklace. When you go to the bottom of your upload page on Awkward Styles, as you can see, the default is 250% markup, so the retail price is going to be $48.83. With some basic common knowledge, such as the fact that I know close numbers or something that ends in 99 is going to look more appealing than a number like 48.83, I'm going to set my price to $49.99. And because I'm just starting out and I want to get those sales rolling in, I'm going to absorb the shipping cost and offer free shipping on this listing for now. My production costs for the interlocking circles is going to be $13.95 plus $4.99 to ship to the US. So that's a total of $18.94 for production costs. And I'm going to head over to my free Etsy fee calculator with Allura and input my information. So my selling price is going to be $49.99. My total cost is $18.94. I'm not going to opt for Etsy offsite ads at the beginning since I do want to test out my products first to see which ones are working, and then maybe we can go with offsite ads. So let's click calculate. All right, so my total revenue is $49.99. The cost is going to be $18.94. I have a 20-cent listing fee, $3.25 in a transaction fee, $1.75 in a processing fee from Etsy Payments. So my actual total cost is going to be $24.14, leaving me with a $25.85 profit. If I list this same product on Shopify or WooCommerce, I'm only going to take into consideration the transaction fees, and then at the end of the month, I'm going to check how many sales I made, what my total revenue is, and what my cost to upkeep my website was, and then from there, calculate my total real profit. So for this example, I'm going to use the basic plan's transaction fees. So that means that from my $49.99, I'm going to be charged 2.9% plus 30 cents on top of that. And 2.9% of $49.99 is going to be about $1.44. So plus the 30 cents, I'm going to subtract $1.74 from my profit. So that technically leaves me with about $29 in profit. However, I'm not factoring in my monthly subscription or my yearly domain purchase or any ad spent to get traffic to my website if I decided to go with ads. And the reason I do like to go in depth into these possible costs are because I feel like when you're just starting out and you get your first sale, you feel like you're left with no profit. And I think that even though a learning curve is inevitable when starting out with print on demand, I think that at least understanding where all of those costs could potentially be coming from can help you avoid at least some mistakes and not leave you in red numbers when you're just starting out. Now that you have the building blocks to understand how product pricing works, I recommend starting out with the default product markup, and based on your first few sales, see how your profit margin is, if it's working out for you, if you have space to increase your pricing or lower your pricing, because the good thing about print on demand is that you can easily tweak things in your store and learn as you go without the risk of having all that inventory stored up. Coming up in Module 4, we're finally going to go over how you can integrate your store with Awkward Styles and get to designing your first jewelry card. Congratulations, you've made it halfway through your journey. If you've made it to the 4th module, you are now ready to integrate your store to Awkward Styles and start designing your first jewelry message card. Just a quick summary of what to expect from this module. I'm going to walk you through how to integrate Etsy, Shopify, and WooCommerce, and then we're going to go over the feature that differentiates Awkward Styles from other print-on-demand jewelry partners, and that's that you can design your card on the front and back directly on our mockup generator. But first, let's understand what an integration is if you don't quite know what it means yet. An integration is basically a bridge between two apps, marketplaces, platforms, tools, in order for them to work together. So in this case, in the context of print on demand, an integration allows you to connect your store and automate the whole ordering process. This means that when you connect your store, you're letting your print on demand provider know which product you want us to send for each listing. And thanks to this technology, whenever you receive an order, we automatically receive that order information through these integrations, which then allows us to print and ship directly to your customer. Through these integrations, we aren't at the front of your store, so your customer doesn't even know that we're fulfilling products for you if you don't want them to know. It allows you to do many other things like upload listings directly from your print-on-demand provider, for example, and manage your orders. So let's get into how you can connect each of the 3 integrations that Awkward Styles offers. Let's create your first Shopify store together. To start, go to shopify.com and click on the upper right-hand corner where it says Start Free Trial. And you can answer these optionally, or you can skip through all of the questions. They're basically asking general information about your business, whether you're starting out, if you have experience, if you already have a store, and what you're trying to sell. So one of those questions, for example, gives you the option to start selling print on demand. This kind of helps Shopify give you the right resources, recommend the right apps, and give you general guidance specifically to start a print on demand business on Shopify. But we're going to skip through these questions and go through the next step. All right, so the next thing is to create a Shopify ID, and I'm just going to create it with my Google account. Creating your account from a trial is very easy. You don't need any credit card information. You basically just need an email account. And here it tells you when your trial is going to start, so just make sure to add in some billing information before then so that you can continue building your store. And they actually have a deal right now where you can extend your trial for 1 month for the first 3 months on certain plans. And these plans are what you can get started with, since they're the basic and the advanced, which have the features that any beginner print-on-demand seller can create their store with. And the next thing you're going to see is that Shopify gives you a setup guide, and it tells you step by step what you need to do in order to create your store, publish it, and start selling print-on-demand products. In order to start building your store, go to the left-hand side menu where it says Sales Channels, and then underneath it says Online Store. And here you can see the message that says your online store is password protected. To remove the password, pick a plan. What this means is that if someone searches for your domain or clicks on your link, this is what they're going to see, the Opening Soon banner, which you can also customize, by the way. And what you're going to see when you click on View Your Store is a preview of all of the changes that you've made on your Shopify dashboard. On the bottom here, you can see your online store password. So it says your online store is password protected with this, which you can also change by managing preferences. It leads you right to password protection, and you can change the password. In order for this to be public, though, you do need to pick a paid plan. So you can't make your store live with this free trial. As you can see, with this free theme, you pretty much get a template where you can not drag and drop, but where you can personalize each part, and it already tells you the basics that you need for your website. So you get a home page, a catalog landing page, and a contact page. Another very important thing that you need to add is going to be your policy. So your privacy policy, your return policy, and your terms and conditions, anything that's relevant just to kind of protect you as a seller and also for transparency with your customers. All right, so to get started with the customization, you can just click on Customize, and on the left, you're going to see a breakdown of each block. So you can either go from here, click on here to customize a part, or if you're more of a visual person like myself, you can click on what you want to customize and it'll open that section here on the list. So for example, here, you just click on this section for the banner and you can select an image to upload your first website banner. You can customize the buttons, select where it's gonna go. So it even has like tags for your reference. Like if you want shop all to go to all products, then that's where it's gonna go. And another cool thing about Shopify is that it allows you to collect emails, which is gonna be great for email marketing and consequently generating leads and of course generating sales at the end of the day. So for example, you can customize what it says here, subscribe for goodies. You can also add your social media. This is also where you're going to enable your policy links, which we'll customize in a second. So this first part is the breakdown of the landing page that you're on. For example, home, there's your collection breakdown, and then your contact page breakdown over here. If you go to the icon below the first one where it's a paintbrush and it says theme settings, this is where you can change your color scheme, add in your logo, determine your typography, add in any media you want, your social media, customize your cart and your checkout process. So you can add in your logo here. So you can see you can do your primary colors and your accent colors, what color you want your text to be, the font that you want to use, and lots of other things. And the last icon is for app embeds. So basically they're add-ons that can complement your theme without being seen by customers. Since we're just starting out with the basics of an online store, you don't need this right now. At the moment, we just want to focus on creating your first products and getting your store live. If you don't like how this theme looks, you can go back to your dashboard and explore other free themes in their theme library. So they have quite a few popular free themes. For example, Dawn is the one that we just used, and it shows you very visual examples so you can kind of imagine the potential of what your store could look like with the theme provided. For example, this is Dawn, the one that we just viewed. It shows you features. It tells you what it can do for you. So for example, cart and checkout, it has cart notes, the option for in-store pickups, quick buy. This is for you, marketing and conversion. You can create a blog, you can do cross-selling, you can even create an FAQ page. So these free themes are actually pretty good to get started, especially if you don't know too much about Shopify yet, or if you don't know anything about coding. This is a great way to get started. You basically just replace the template with your information. And remember, you don't have to start out with a perfect website. It doesn't have to look like a big retailer store, something that a bigger company could do. The important thing is to get started, and over time you will learn all the tips and tricks. You'll learn how to create landing pages that convert. You'll learn to optimize for search engines. You'll learn how to do visual storytelling. You'll learn how to generate and bring traffic to your website, but all of those are with due time. So remember to be patient with yourself, and the best way to learn is to do it hands-on. So whether it's Dawn or any of the other free themes that they offer, don't worry about being picture perfect or the most aesthetic website out there. Here are a few more examples of some free themes. I really like these minimalist ones. I feel like it kind of matches the vibe that our jewelry gives. So it depends if you want to go more heavy on written content or image content, but you can't go wrong with any of these themes, I promise. I'm just going to show you what they look like. So this is an example of the free theme Craft. It's free. You can even view a demo store and see how it would look like. So for example, this is more for visual storytelling, which would be great for print-on-demand jewelry because we have a library of assets that you can use. We have professional photography and videos for jewelry. So I think this would be a great theme to add those assets in. This is another one called Scents. I'm gonna click on the demo store too. I like this one. It's really nice. It says you can do products and a small description. This is a nice theme. So once your theme is done, if you've decided to do content marketing and want to do blog posts, this is where you would go and where you can start creating your blog posts. Now, if you go to preferences on your dashboard under sales channels and then under online store preferences, this is for SEO and search engine visibility purposes. Here you can update your title and meta description. So that's basically the tiny description that you see when you search something on Google. You see a big title and then you see a description for that. This is you basically telling Google, this is what I want people searching my store to find. So for example, you can, like if you're selling print-on-demand jewelry, I'm going to close my other tabs and I'm going to use ChatGPT for my title and meta description. Now keep in mind that you can't use too many characters because Google cuts it off basically at a certain point. So you want to make sure that you get in all the important information that will make a customer want to click on your website. So you want to get that click-through rate up. I'm going to say create a Google title for an online store selling jewelry. I'm not 100% convinced, so I'm going to ask for more options. Elevate your style. I'm kind of into that one. Find your perfect accessory. I like that one. Now, as you start determining what your keywords are going to be, so for example, like if you're doing, Mother's Day jewelry, you're going to want that to be in your title. It won't help as much if it's super vague, like find your perfect accessory. So you're going to want users to know that you're selling what they're looking for. And if what they're looking for is Mother's Day jewelry gift, you want that in your title. You want it to stand out and tell them, hey, I'm here, I have what you want, so they can click on your store and buy something. And the homepage meta description, and you want to write it from the point of view of the customer. So think about what would make you click on a website just by reading the title and maybe the first 10 words of the description. That's what you're going to write here. You can also add in more information like your social sharing image. You can connect your Google Analytics account, your Facebook pixel. You could go through your customer privacy. And I do recommend that you really look through this and understand what each of these options mean, because you also need to understand your privacy policy, your data collection policy, your return policy, all of that, in case you get any questions regarding it. And of course, you can modify your password, and this is some spam protection, so you can protect your store. Make sure to double check that you save everything, because I do not know how many times I have modified things, not saved them, and then have to start all over. So trust me, you do not want to start over when it comes to SEO, since it does require quite some thought. So make sure you save, and then if you go back to editing your theme, anything else on your dashboard, it'll be saved and good to go. For my social media sellers, if you go to sales channels and the part where it says Facebook and Instagram, you'll be able to see that you need to finish, and it closes tab. You need to finish installing the Facebook and Instagram extension app, whatever you want to call it. So you're going to update your sales channel, and it's going to guide you through the setup to start selling on Facebook and Instagram. Other features you want to be aware of on your Shopify dashboard are your analytics, so you can see your total sales, conversion rate, average order value, sessions by traffic source, so if they're coming from social media, from the link, from search engine results. So these analytics are pretty good. Remember to always measure your KPIs with a goal in mind and with an action in mind to take from the KPIs that you're getting from your analytics. So for example, if your conversion rate is really low, then what you want is an action plan to increase the conversion rate. What can you do? What is leading to conversion? Organic traffic. If it's social media, then you're going to check, for example, when do people stop watching my videos? How can I optimize my content in order for them to watch everything and get to my call to action. So everything here, you need to see it as something with purpose, and that'll get you a long way, because it's basically telling you what the next steps you need to take are. You also get reports, very detailed by the way. And I love this part of your dashboard. It's a live view of where people are in session on your website. So of course it's not live, I don't have any customers, so this isn't very active right now, but I'm not sure if you guys have seen the TikTok videos or the Shopify ads where you can see the lines and the dots where people are in session. It's pretty cool. So yeah, more analytics, customer behavior. How many carts are active, how many people are checking out, how many people have purchased the last 10 minutes. So Shopify is a pretty cool platform to get started. We're gonna go back to our setup guide, and let's say we finished customizing our online store. The next thing we're gonna do is add a custom domain. This is optional, by the way. You don't need a custom domain. Like I said, Shopify automatically gives you a myshopify.com domain. But a lot of people don't like it, so they opt for a custom domain. And Shopify actually gives you a pretty cool tutorial. Another plus from Shopify, guys, is that it has an amazing resource library. They offer free YouTube videos, free training. I think their training is called Shopify Learn or something like that. And as you can see, they guide you through every step with videos, with explanations, definitions. So again, 10 out of 10, I love Shopify. You're gonna click on Add Domain. And you can purchase a domain externally and then connect that one, or you can buy a new one through Shopify. So let's say, for example, that I wanted to do alexexampleshop.com. Shopify is going to look up that domain and see if it's available for purchase and how much it's gonna cost you. And $15 is actually pretty much the average that I've seen with domains. But do take into account if your domain is taken or if somebody has it like for sale, it might be pretty expensive. So you may have to look into other extensions like .co, .us. So for example, if I didn't want to pay $15 a year or something, or if it's not the exact domain that I wanted, Shopify also gives you other options that you can buy. So to buy the domain, of course, you do need to put in your billing information. All right, and again, if you're a little lost, the domain is basically just what people see here on the search bar and what they're gonna search. So, all right, so let's say that I already did that. So I'm gonna cross it off my setup guide. And the next step is to configure my sales channels, which I already did when I stumbled across Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest. I updated my app with these extensions. So I'm going to be selling online. I don't want to sell at a point of sale, so like in person, but with your trial, you automatically get the option to try it out. And then Pinterest, of course, my print-on-demand app with awkward styles. So that's set up. Next thing I'm going to do, set up Shopify payments. So Shopify Payments is the processor native to Shopify, similar to Etsy Payments. Shopify does that as well, and it's also optional. So you can see other providers if you don't want to go with Shopify Payments. But like we discussed in pricing, your fees are going to depend on the payment processor. If you want to get started without any hiccups, or if you don't know too much about other providers, then you can just go ahead and click on Activate Shopify Payments. And like it says here, before you set up Shopify Payments, you need to provide more information about your business. So you're going to need a default business address. So you're going to fill in your information. And my house is not a registered business, so I'm not going to check this box off. I'm going to click Next. Oops, forgot to put in my phone number. All right, click Next. And there you go. So you set up Shopify Payments. The next few steps have to do with giving Shopify more information about your business. You can secure your account with two-step authentication. So that's basically where you get like a code to your phone number or email. And you're going to add in your banking information so that you can get payments and also pay for your plan when your trial is over. When you click on Submit Details for your business, this is what you're going to see. Business type, some information used to verify your identity and keep your account secure, product details, what you're selling, and how you want your store to appear on your customers' bank statements. Now, this is actually a pretty important detail because it helps avoid chargebacks. So if someone looks back on their account and sees something super weird, they are more likely to create a chargeback. And you can actually diminish the possibility of a chargeback by just adding in the name of your shop. And that way, when they Google it, they'll find your website and they'll see that it's legit, that they did purchase something from you. Once that's done, you click on the check mark and that's it, you're done. Those are your basics. Another awesome thing I like about Shopify is that it's so easy to find each section that you need to create your website and to manage your store. So you can manage your checkout, what it's going to look like for you and for your customer. You have the option for customers to create accounts, which is good when you're building things like loyalty programs. You can manage your shipping profiles, any taxes, duties if you're going to sell internationally, manage your domains. So yeah, that's a pretty cool detail. I did gloss over pretty much the basics that you need to get started. And we also have a complete tutorial on our YouTube channel, and there are lots of free resources if you really want to get into the details of each section. And again, Shopify has an amazing library of resources, both video and written content, and also their support is amazing. So with that said, let's go on to create your first product. Module 4, Lesson 2, How to Integrate Your Shopify Store with Awkward Styles. You know, I really love these integrations because connecting your store, they make it the easiest thing in the world. It can literally not get any easier. So just like we started out with connecting your Etsy shop, you're going to go to your Awkward Styles dashboard, go to integrations, and this time you're going to select connect for your Shopify store. And again, you will need to be logged in. And when you click connect, it's going to take you to Shopify where you should be logged in and you'll be able to add the app. From there, you'll be redirected to your Awkward Styles dashboard, and just make sure that you get a green message on the upper right-hand corner that says that your store connected successfully. Another way to connect your Shopify store to Awkward Styles is by going to your Shopify dashboard, find the Shopify App Store, and look for Awkward Styles Print on Demand. From there, it's the same procedure. You're going to download the app, and then it's going to direct you to your Awkward Styles dashboard, and that's it. Your store is connected. After that, you'll be able to modify your settings from your Awkward Styles dashboard. You can change your store name or how it's going to appear on our end. You can also modify the default address for your store on the label. So just click on custom address and then add a return address that you want to appear. And under the advanced tab, you can modify the default markup for all products except jewelry. Then specifically the default markup for necklaces and the default markup for bracelets. You can also configure your store settings to automatically fulfill or manually fulfill. So if you automatically fulfill, that means that whenever we receive an order with a product template connected to Awkward Styles, we're going to automatically send that to production. If you have manual order confirmation on, that means that when we receive an order, you need to manually click send to production in order for us to start printing your product. And that's it. That's all you have to do to connect your Shopify store to Awkward Styles. Next up, we're going to get started on designing your first product template. We're also going to cover how to upload this product to each of the integrations that we just covered. Now that you've got your store set up, we're going to design your first jewelry card within our mockup generator using our jewelry card design templates. So to do this, the first thing you're going to do is click on Dashboard on the right-hand corner of the home page once you're logged in. And from here, in order to find the product that you want to customize, on the left-hand side, you're going to see a menu, and you're going to click on Product Catalog. From there, you're going to see a drop-down menu where you can select the category and the type of product that you want to customize. In this case, I'm going to click on the drop-down menu of jewelry, and the first thing that I want to design is a necklace. And I like this infinity circle necklace. All right, so I'm going to walk you through our mockup generator real quick. The first thing you're going to see is the menu on the left-hand corner. So of course, you're going to have your layers where you can add text, choose a file from your computer, which can be a PNG or a JPEG. You can choose a file from your library, which is where you have already uploaded previous images and they're stored in your Awkward Styles account, or you can select some from the Awkward Styles library. Next up, you can add text and customize the text. So we have different fonts. You can customize the font size, the color by hex code. You can align the text, scale it, align it, etc. Next thing we have is your library, which is where you can upload designs that you created on other software like Photoshop, Illustrator, Kittl, and these will be stored in your Awkward Styles account. You can also alternatively upload a design from your computer. So you're going to click on choose, and then you can upload a JPEG or a PNG file. And these are just some requirements, some limitations. Like for example, you can upload a file that's over 100 megabytes. And we also recommend sizes according to the product by pixels. Next up on the menu, we have settings, and that's pretty much just the background color of the card, which you can also customize by hex color. Next up, we have the Awkward Styles library, which is available for all products, and there are thousands of free elements that you can use in your design, and these are also stackable, so you can add multiple layers of these free designs. And finally, the jewelry design templates. So what you can do with this is click on one of the templates that you want to use. So for example, let's do this one. It says, "To my daughter, I couldn't be prouder to be your mom. I'll always be there to protect you from the big scary monsters under your bed. Love always, Mama." So the cool thing about this is that we have divided each of these templates into layers. This means that you can move around the back of the card, which is just the background. For example, if you want to create your own background, your own texture, you can replace it, upload it, and then delete this one and add in your own layer. You can also customize each part of the text. So for example, if you want to say "to my amazing daughter," or "to Kendall," if you want to personalize it and add in their name, for example. If you want to change the message at the end of the card, if you want to change who it's from, you can also do that. So you can browse the template library by categories. You can do by birthday, for Christmas, family. We have sports, since we have sports bracelets as well. And we're constantly updating these template libraries. So if you also have some topics or themes that you'd like to see more of in the library, of course, you can always email us since we're constantly updating it anyway. And we love hearing your ideas. All right, so of course, things to take into account: the safe area for text, the cut line, and the full bleed. So you're going to want any important elements that you for sure want to be visible within the safe area for text, and that's going to be within the green dotted line. So for example, as you can see, everything that says "to my daughter," the message at the end, and "from Mama," and the little decoration that we have in the middle, that's within the green line, because for sure that's not going to be cut off. And then we have the cut line, which is where we cut off the card. So anything that is beyond this line will most likely not appear on your card, but you're still going to want all of your background to cover up until the full bleed. So you want to cover everything that's within this visible area of the box. So I'm going to show you real quick some mistakes that I've seen. So for example, it could be very easily understood if you're a beginner that you only need to put this background up until the red line. However, if you do this, you will risk the cut line, including some white, for example, because they're going to cut the card. They're not going to have anything for the bleed area. Then it might end up actually looking like this, for example. So the card is going to have some white and not just your background. So just a quick note for you guys. All right, the other thing is that you can choose variants. So for example, for some necklaces, we do have different colors. Not in this case, but let's say like the love necklace that we have that one in silver and we have it in gold. So you can choose one or two of those that you want to list. And you can also choose the box type. Currently we have 3 boxes that you can choose. So we have the regular texture magnetic box. We have the LED box, so that one, when you open it, it has the LED that lights up, which is pretty cool. And then we have the brown leather box as well. So you can choose all of these, or maybe you just want to do one separate listing for the textured or one separate listing for the LED box, whatever you'd like. Another thing you can do on the mockup generator, and something that you can't do with other print-on-demand jewelry providers, is that you can customize the back of the card. So on the back of the card, you're always going to get 2 things, which is assembled in the USA, and you're going to get the barcode, which is really just for production purposes. But as you can see here, there is an area where you can upload or create your own design. So we encourage merchants to include things like, for example, their logo, add in maybe a discount code for their next purchase, add in a thank you, or just like a quick message, something that will make your product stick out. Now, once you customize the front and the back, if you want to, it's optional, you don't have to. You can preview your product and you're going to see what the mockup's going to look like. So for example, I didn't fix the background to cover all of the bleeding area. So as you can see, it's showing you that if you leave it like this, you are going to have a bit of white sticking out on your card on the edges. And then you can see the back of the card. If you do choose to customize it, you can see the variants that you've chosen. If you like it, you can keep it or you can continue editing. Before I create the template, I do want to show you that you can check the variants and the shipping prices directly from the mockup generator as well. So for example, you can check what the texture magnetic box is going to cost you, and in case it has multiple colors, you can also check for those. You can check the base price with and without the Pro plan, by the way. And you can check as well for the different boxes that we offer. You can check them according to the box type or the color. That's what style means. And you can also check the shipping price. So you can check it. It automatically is going to give you your region when you go to the shipping page. But here you can check for the US, and you can also check for all countries. And again, it's going to give you the breakdown by each box type. It gives you the estimated shipping times, and it gives you the prices for the first item and the additional item as well. Okay, another quick thing is that you can zoom into the mockup generator. It's, it's a pretty basic feature, but I think it's pretty cool because it lets you, make sure that every single detail is perfect. All right, so we've checked out how to create your design, how to use the templates, how to add in some text, how to select the variants that you want, and we've previewed the mockup. As you can see, I've created the template, and it gives me 2 options from here now. I can create a manual order, or I can upload a product. So let's do both. I would recommend creating a manual order when you're just starting out, because this is how you order samples with us. So you can order it directly from the template, or you can create several templates and then create a manual order with all of the samples that you want to take a look at. So once you're in your shopping cart, you need to make sure that you select both the color, the style, and the box. And then you're just gonna add to cart. As you can see, you can customize the address from that appears on the label, because you can also create and ship manual orders to customers, not just as samples. So if you don't want them to see our address from, then you can customize that. And of course, you can input your own delivery address if you want to do a sample, or if you're sending to a customer, you can do that. And once you put in your delivery address, which I'm just gonna put in our own address. All right, once you do that, once you input your address, you're going to see the breakdown of costs. So the only thing you're going to be charged for is production, shipping, and tax. And also you can see if there are any savings that you'd like to have by upgrading to Pro. All right, so after that, you click Finish. And you're going to be prompted to view the order, which is where you can edit anything before it's sent to production, or you can send it to production right away. So I'm gonna view my order real quick, and here you can say, for example, it's awaiting payment, so I haven't sent it to production. I'm just gonna check that it's the quantity that I want, that it's the necklace and design that I want, that everything is okay, that the shipping address is correct, and then I'm going to send to production if it is okay. As you can see, you can edit the order if you do want to change something before it's sent to production, or you can cancel or delete it. Okay, the next option was to create a product. So to do that, you can just go back to your product templates from your dashboard menu on the left, and you'll find the last product template that we just created. And you can click on the green button that says Upload Product. So here is where you will need to have your store already connected. For example, I have my test Etsy shop connected. So I'm going to click on Upload, and it's going to prompt you to a new tab where you'll be able to create your listing directly from Awkward Styles. So first thing on Etsy is going to be your main image. So you can either click the default image or any of the others that we provide. So for example, I like this one. And then you're going to select the styles and the boxes that you want to include in this listing. And you can add up to 10 images for Etsy, I believe. So you can add in more of the mockups available on each product. And of course, we have size charts. So this basically just tells them how long the chain is and how big the pendant is as well. That's good information to include in your listing because, you know, it helps with transparency so that the customer knows exactly what they're going to be getting. And you can add in your video. So to do that, you can click Select, and that's basically a high quality asset that you can add. So it doesn't have sound. It's basically just a model showing what the necklace looks like in use, which Etsy encourages to add into your listings. There we go. So you have a few options right here. And we also have edited mockups that you can add in that are in different environments. So for example, you can add one of the couple, of just the hands showing the necklace, of the different boxes if you're going to include more than one option. So the cool thing is that we do offer quite a lot of assets that you can work with to set up a high quality, eye-catching listing. But of course, you can always create your own mockups, add in, for example, your own style, your own branding, or just any information that you want to disclose up front on the listing, for example. So you can do your title, which for SEO purposes, I do encourage that you add in keywords. The description, which we basically give you predetermined features that you don't have to add in. Product visibility, this means that it's going to be published to your store. If you do not want to publish, just uncheck that. If you do want to publish, check it. Okay, next step, you can add in your tags. And for SEO purposes as well, I also recommend that you take advantage of all 13 tags that you can add in. And a couple of other things, you can add in your shop sections, your shipping profiles, the occasion, and all of that, which we actually have a full Etsy tutorial up on our YouTube channel. So you can check that out as well if you have any questions about what these things mean and how you can set up your first listing. Okay, so final and probably the most appealing part of this is your retail price. You can set up how much you're going to charge right here. So for example, this is the LED box. So it does add a lot of perceived value. You're paying $25.90 and We recommend charging $90, but you can also charge a little bit less, like let's say, I don't know, $70. And first you're going to want to check convert prices to store currency USD. So it says this button will convert both your current prices and the shipping template prices if you have created them as new. We won't convert the prices from your old shipping templates. This is basically just to ensure that you are charging in USD and you're not charging in your local currency. So for example, if you live in Mexico and you put in 90.65, but your store currency is in the Mexican peso, then what your listing is going to say is 90 pesos instead of $90, and that is not good at all. So you're going to want to head and click on convert prices. All right, and once that's done, you're going to click on upload product and you're going to see it on your storefront. And from there, you can also edit your listing if you want to add in more information, but these are the basics. So if you just upload this, you'll probably be good.
Welcome to Module 5, where I'm going to teach you how to use AI to come up with message card text using two tools, ChatGPT and Canva. So in the first part, I'm going to give you a prompt formula that you can give to ChatGPT and adapt to different niches and different message card purposes. And in the second part, I'm going to give you a few ideas of other things that you can use AI for, both in general in print-on-demand and specifically for print-on-demand jewelry. Let's dive right in. All right, so the ChatGPT prompt formula is as follows. Adjective plus gift recipient plus 1 to 2 lines with the main message plus the conclusive statement and or signature. So adjective would be like my dearest, for example. Gift recipient, you could either add a personalization option so that your buyer could give you a loved one's name, for example, or you can do something broad so that way you don't have to go through the trouble of personalization listings. So for example, my dearest wife, and then 1 to 2 lines with the main message, which could be my dearest wife, you light up my life. And then the conclusive statement or signature could be like, love your husband. So that's a very simple example just to give you an idea of what the end result is going to be. And right now I'm going to show you just how easy ChatGPT makes it for you to create a bunch of cards in a matter of seconds. Okay, so here's an example of how I used this prompt to make a jewelry card for the birthday niche. So I told ChatGPT to write a birthday card no longer than 25 words with the following structure. And then I gave the prompt that I just told you. So the thing that you need to take into account is that you will probably, anything that you give to ChatGPT or to AI, many times you're not going to get exactly what you're looking for with the first prompt that you feed it. And that is because AI is very literal and it learns with you as you go. So for example, I did not tell it that I want several prompts or several examples or options, so it gave me just one option. And it said, lovely, adjective, gift recipient, wishing you a day filled with joy and laughter. May this year bring endless blessings. Happy birthday. Which isn't too bad, but I wanted more options to choose from. So I gave it more instructions and I said, give me 10 options. And of course, it proceeded to give me 10 adjectives. It gave me 10 lines with the main message, and although I was happy that it gave me all of those adjectives, I didn't like that the structure for the main message was pretty much the same for all 10 options. So they would all start, may your birthday be. So it was, may your birthday be as delightful as you are, may your birthday be a celebration, may your birthday be a sparkling chapter, and so on and so forth for all 10 options. Now, although I did like parts of the messages, I wanted a little bit more variety, so I told the AI add more variety to the main card message. And it says, certainly here are 10 more options with varied main card messages. And it not only gave me additional adjectives at the beginning, but it gave me more variety in the main part of the card. So it said, may your birthday be filled with laughter. on your special day, may all your dreams take flight, blah, blah, blah. As you celebrate another year of life. So these are just a few examples of how you can have a concept in your mind, but maybe you're not as creative or don't exactly know which wording to use. So you're gonna have kind of that push and pull between you and the AI. It's almost like a collaboration where you kind of train it to get to the exact message that you want to use. Another thing is, for example, that it kept the parentheses for gift recipient because I didn't tell it what the gift recipient was. So you can either, like I said, leave it like that, gift recipient, on like your listing, for example, and then tell them to give you a name or something. Or you can like specify in your first instruction, write a birthday card for Kelly, or write a birthday card. And then in the prompt formula, you can put adjective plus and then the birthday girl or the grad. It's something that you can very easily adapt and change as needed. Okay, the other AI tool is actually within Canva. However, you do need to be subscribed to Canva Pro in order to access this feature. And to be honest, if the only thing that you're interested in is Canva AI, I wouldn't recommend paying for Pro, especially not at the beginning of your POD journey, since it's going to take a while to bring in those profits in order to pay off extra apps like Canva that you don't 100% need to get stuff done. But if you do have Canva Pro already, then you just need to open a new document, and it's going to give you the option to use a tool called like magic writing. So this is an example of the prompt that I gave it. It's very similar to what I give ChatGPT, and you can actually give it the same thing or modify it a little bit. It works with any text generating AI. So I just told it to write a gift card with 25 words or less for the birthday girl from mom. And it gave me, happy birthday to my beautiful daughter. May this gift bring a smile to your face and joy to your heart. Love always, mom. Personally, what I would do is modify it a little bit, and I would just make the card by switching to my beautiful daughter to the first line, and then happy birthday and the rest of the message. And then at the end, love always, mom. And of course, you can either use one of our templates for the background, or you can even use Canva to create something original. All right, so in the next part, I'm going to show you other things that you can do with ChatGPT or this AI tool on Canva for print on demand. Okay, so now that we've covered how you can create prompts using AI, I'm just going to go over quickly some other things that you can use AI for in print on demand. So first thing I briefly covered in one of the other modules is that you can use it to create your shop name. And the only thing you need to do is like kind of tell it the vibe that you're going for. So maybe you want like a cute shop name, maybe you want an edgy shop name, or maybe you want a website name or a brand name for a streetwear brand or athleisure brand. There's just so many things that you can do with the very basic, the very building blocks of your branding, which is of course, the first thing that people come across, and that is your shop or your brand or store name. The next is your shop description or your store description, or just any general website copy if you're going to go with Shopify or WooCommerce. Of course, you do have to be very careful that it doesn't sound super AI generated. And the way that you're going to juggle this is make sure that the tone is more conversational. Don't make it too formal. If there's a word that you don't understand, don't add it in. And if it seems like it makes sense, but there's something off, don't include it. Because sometimes AI sounds fancy or it sounds really nice, but it doesn't really say anything, or it doesn't say anything practical that will actually draw your customers' attention. One way you can actually check this is just by running it through like friends or just any family members that you may have that can give you some honest feedback. So, something very important when you're running a business is you don't want yes men You want someone that will give you honest feedback and that will help you grow. So that's actually very important if you're going to use AI, is not just relying on your own opinion of what it's generated, but of other people that only have the end result, that don't have your original concept or vision in mind of what you wanted to create. The next thing is social media content ideas. So not the exact captions, because I found, at least in my experience, that ChatGPT or AI in general is not very good for copywriting purposes, but it is pretty good in giving you content ideas. So for example, you can give it like one topic. So maybe give me 10 ideas of video content that I can post for my small business that sells yada yada yada. And then it'll give you ideas like, for example, do some behind the scenes, and then you can ask it to elaborate, like, how do I make behind the scenes videos? So I'm not sure if you're kind of catching on to the idea, but it's you building on top of what the AI is giving you. Contrary to what many people may believe at the beginning of their journey using AI to supplement their creation and content or anything supplemental to their business, AI is not going to do everything for you, at least not where it's at this moment. Like, a human hand is still very much needed, especially since this is your brand image and your brand voice and tone that you really want to be careful with, both at the beginning, during, and after many, many years. You always want to be consistent with it. And something that AI can never do is give it that human touch. So go for content ideas or just the base of something, and then, you're going to go in and polish that, or actually create something based off of what it gives you. Another idea for what you can do with AI is ask them to generate different adjectives for your niche. So for example, you can say, what are 10 ways to describe a loved one, a fiance, a wife, a husband, someone that's studying? I don't know. There are just so many things that you can do with this little thing, and it's going to make your cards stand out, because it's going to give it that emotional connection to the buyer. Because remember, these do really well as gifts, so they want to buy something that will appeal to the emotional side of the person that they're giving it to. And the last suggestion that I'm going to give is keywords for tags. I do recommend not just using the list that they give you right off the bat, because if you do use AI to create or come up with a list of keywords, I recommend also using one of the tools that we're going to cover in a later module to help you kind of understand if it's a good keyword to use or if it's something that you should just avoid. All right, so this was a pretty short module, but just to kind of summarize, AI is a good tool to give you a base of inspiration, and although it does help with a lot of things, and it is a great tool that you can use to optimize your store and create amazing products, at this point in time, it is still necessary for you to really review, proofread, and add that human touch before you publish anything. All right, let's move on to Module 6. Module 6, how to design the card on beginner design software like Canva and Kittl. So we already covered how you can design your card directly on our mockup generator, but if you do have other ideas that you feel our mockup generator can't quite cover and you want to try out other beginner software like Canva or Kittl, then I'm gonna show you how you can use both our assets and the tools that these two apps have to create the perfect jewelry card. Alrighty, Module 6, Part 1, designing your jewelry gift card on Canva for beginners. All right, so first things first, you're going to either sign up or log into Canva. It's just canva.com. I'm going to log in since I already have an account. So first things first, Canva does offer various pricing tiers to cater to different needs. So the pricing tiers that they currently have are Canva Free, Canva Pro, and then there's Canva for Teams. And Canva Pro is the basic version. You don't have to pay to use it. You have access to a bunch of design templates, photos, graphics, and basic editing features. Although for print on demand, it is going to be kind of limiting for certain aspects, like you can't make your design bigger proportionately. There are a lot of elements that require Pro. You can erase the background, for example, which is very useful when designing for t-shirts. So, if Canva is something you feel like is a fit for you, you would have to take into account that as a print-on-demand user, you may not be able to do as much with the free plan. But we do a complete breakdown actually on our YouTube channel where we talk a little bit more in depth about Canva versus other mockup and design software. So the Pro tier is subscription based, and of course you get additional features and benefits, like you get to use more of the elements, you get to have the background remover, you can change the size of your design proportionately, and there's a lot of other cool things that are exclusive to the Pro plan. And it's about $12.99 USD per month before taxes, or you can do a yearly subscription with a discount at about $120 before taxes. And then there's Canva for Teams. So if you're working with other people, or maybe you have someone that you can split the costs with that also wants to use Pro, that one starts at about $15 before taxes per month for the first 5 people. But if you want to ask about the specifics, you can go ahead and contact Canva, and they'll be able to contact you with their sales team and tell you a little bit more about it. But they also have pretty thorough guides on their sales page, on their pricing page. So if you have questions about it, you can go ahead and look into it on Canva directly as well. All right, so going back to our tutorials, we're going to go to Canva Home, and you're going to go ahead and click on the Create a Design button on the top right-hand corner. And right off the bat, you can see that they have suggested templates for the size that you may be looking for, or you can create a custom size or import a file. So in our case, we're going to create a custom size for our cards. And keep in mind that our cards have a front and a back area to design, so you will need to create 2 different custom size canvases, so to speak. So the first one that we're going to work on is the front, and that one measures 3.31 by 3.31. Oh, by the way, you need to change it to inches first. Don't do what I did and put in the measurements before changing your unit of measurement. So it's 3.31 by 3.31 inches, and we're going to go ahead and create a new design. And that is going to be for the front of the card. Now you're going to head back to your home, and you're going to create another custom size canvas for the back if you do choose to create something on the back of your cards. And your width is going to be 2.6 by 2.4 for the length. Also inches for the back of the card. Just make sure you don't get those mixed up when designing. I know I would. All right, so there are a couple of ways that you can design on Canva. So the first thing is very beginner friendly. It's searching templates. Now with this, you do have to be pretty careful because you don't want to take someone's intellectual property and just sell it as is. So you do have to modify it, add in some elements, maybe some text, move some things around, and really make it yours, because remember, you are going to be profiting off of this, and you do want to be mindful of any copyright and trademark or licensing details or rules. To get started, you can go to design, and that's where you're going to get your templates, and you can type in gift card, for example, and it's automatically going to adjust to your dimensions, by the way, kind of like, for example, as you can see, this is squared, and it's giving you squared designs. So let's see, for example, this one looks cute, and I feel like it would do well with a necklace or a bracelet, because the bracelet would go pretty much to the edges of the box. So you would have all of this center area to design. When designing your card, just be mindful of the bleeding space. So you're going to want to keep, for example, here it actually has pretty good margins. You're going to want to keep your text pretty much here within this range just to make sure that it doesn't cut off or anything. So for example, I actually kind of like this font. I really like this font. So let's make it maybe a little bit smaller, maybe 15. And I'm just going to keep that here. Another thing that I really like about Canva is that it gives you all of these guidelines, kind of. So it like tells you when something is centered or when it's aligned with other elements within your design. So I think that's actually pretty cool. Let's see. I'm not going to alter the phrase, but I'm just going to kind of show you what you can play around with. So let's keep that here. Maybe a little bit up there, and then I'm going to copy and paste this, and I'm gonna put love mom. Oh, that's so sweet. Love mom. All right, I'm thinking we can make it a little bit bigger. Oof, but I don't want it to cut off. Okay, you know what? I'll change my mind. So I'm gonna put this all in one line. Just do love mom. You could also replace this with other flowers or with other corner elements like this, for example. You can look for something similar to the vibe. So you can look for like watercolor. And they have graphics, so that's more illustrated type elements. Like for example, this flower is so cute. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one and replace it for this one, which I really like. And I'm just gonna make it a little bit smaller like that. Then they have photos, which are more realistic. As you can see, this doesn't have the pro symbol on any of these elements. Oh, there you go. There it is, pro. On the majority of these elements. So there is quite a lot that you can do before you decide to go pro, you know, if you want to try out the free features and see if it's a fit for you. So just make sure that you don't use the exact same template. Make it yours, make it unique, change the text, adapt it to your niche, and you'll be good to go. All right, so I got the front of my card. Now I want to design the back of the card. As you can see, this is more rectangle than square. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm just going to do gift card and see if I can find, there it is. The reason that I click it is because Canva automatically gives you suggestions based on like the vibe of the template that you choose. And you can also change, like shuffle the template style, by the way. It gives you like different color palettes when you shuffle it. And I'm gonna go with a thank you message on the back, something simple like this. So thank you, and then I'm just going to put my Etsy shop. And again, you know, you're gonna want to customize it, maybe customize it to your Etsy or your brand or your store colors. Maybe you can add in a QR code in there. But yeah, there's lots of things that you can do with this. So you can add in a coupon code, you can add in a more personalized message, you can add in an inspirational quote, find ways to, you know, make it stick out, make them want to keep the card and have it be something memorable, you know, that's something that like, oh, I really liked what this shop did with their card. Like it felt personal, you know, and then they're going to want to go back to your shops. By the way, Canva actually lets you create QR codes in their app, which I think is so cool. So to do that, you're going to go to the menu on the left and you're going to go to apps, scroll down a little bit, and where it says create something new, you're going to see the option for a QR code. So we're going to open that little app, and let's say you want the QR code to go to your shop or maybe a specific listing. You just need to add the URL that you want it to go to. And so for example, I'm going to create a QR code for our website, and we can customize the colors too. So I want the foreground color to be the green from our design. Let's generate the code, and
there you have it. And then you can put like, here's 10% off your next purchase as a thank you, and then scan the QR code or like a little scan me text under here. Once you're satisfied with your gift card design, you can preview it, check anything that you might want to change. And when you're ready, you're going to click on the share button and you're going to click download. So right here, you're going to see what I was talking about earlier, where some features related to print on demand will be a little difficult to do on Canva. So if you want like a transparent background, or if you want to compress the file, which actually isn't very necessary with POD, you will need the Pro feature. But just to make sure that the quality is there, I would suggest just proportionally multiplying the pixels or the inches when you're creating your canvas. I created it with the original file guidelines in mind, just so that you could know that that's what it's going to measure in real life. And because I do have Pro, so I'm able to scale the design. So I'm going to download one that is just 780 by 720, which is the back of the card. And then I'm going to download the front of the card scaled. So as you can see, it's 993 by 993. And I'm going to scale it 3.125 times. And then I'm going to download the back of the card as is. And we're back at our mockup generator. Okay, so I'm going to upload both files. Okay, so this is the first one. As you can see, it is well over the 300 DPI I need, so more is better, just in case. And I'm just going to scale it. Then I'm just going to use the alignment tools to make sure it's centered, just to double check. I'm going to hit preview, and it's going to show me what is going to be on the card. And then we're going to go to the back of the mockup generator to upload the other file. And this is where we're going to see if the mockup generator says that the quality is okay, or if you would need to make the design bigger. All right, let's select it, and we're going to do a little shortcut. Just go ahead and make the width 2.6. It scales it automatically. Let's center it. All right, so print quality looks like it's actually not bad. It's 299 DPI. We're going to go ahead and hit preview. That would be what our card looks like with the necklace. So there you have it, folks. Directly from a test, it looks like if you use the dimensions given on the file guidelines for these jewelry cards, at least, it doesn't really affect the quality if you don't scale it. Personally, I would want to just double check and just to make sure that the quality comes out good, at least scale it maybe 1.5, 2 times right off the bat when making the canvas if you don't have Pro, just to make sure that the quality is even higher than 300 DPI, which technically isn't necessary, but I like to go for the overkill. All right, so once that's done, you can go ahead and select your variations. So whether that is different colors of the necklace or a different box, you can go ahead and select that. Or maybe you want to add more text through our mockup generator. You're going to go ahead and create template. And from here, you know the drill. You can create an order, upload a product, or view your other templates. All right, moving on to part 2, and one of my other top beginner-friendly designer softwares, Kittl.com. All right, so first things first, of course, you're going to want to either log in or sign up and create your account. And similar to Canva, Kittl has different pricing tiers, so we're just going to go over those real quick before we start designing. If you don't want to watch this part, you can just go ahead and skip through to where we actually start designing. All right, so Kittl has 4 pricing tiers, and you can pay either monthly or yearly, and with the yearly plan, you can save up to 33%. So the free plan is good, I think, if you want to explore what features you have, but if you're going to use it for print on demand, you should take into account that even though you do get the commercial license, it requires attribution. So this means that whenever you post something or whenever you're selling something, you need to say that it was created with Kittl. Another limitation is that you can only work on 20 projects and you have less uploading space. And also a pretty significant issue if you're going to be selling stuff or uploading to a POD platform, you should know that you will get a low resolution image export. So the next tier up from free is the Pro plan, and this one is $10 if you go with the yearly plan, or if you want to go month by month, then it's $15. And on this one, you can create a lot more projects, up to 100. You can download with that high resolution that you will need to sell with print on demand, and you don't have to credit Kittl with the full commercial license. Also, you do get access to all of the premium templates. So Kittl has some really amazing elements, templates, and just tools that you can use once you start paying for the pro plan. The next tier is called Expert, and it starts at $24 with the yearly plan or $30 with the monthly plan. And on this one, you get unlimited projects, you get access to premium templates, the commercial license, and you get other really cool perks like a lot more credits for using the Kittl AI tool. And the last one is a business tier. So this one is if you have some other people that you want to include on your account. It allows you to have up to 5 users in one account, and they get access or use basically from the Expert tier. You also get advanced customer support. So I think this would be maybe for a select few people in the print on demand space, but if you're a beginner or if you're just getting started, or if you aren't sure if you want to stick to Kittl as your design software, then I do recommend maybe starting out with Pro for a couple of months, design your first listing, and then go from there. Either you can do like the yearly subscription or upgrade to Expert. Okay, so moving on to the actual design part. You have 2 options. You can open a fresh canvas with the dimensions of the card, or you can start from templates that Kittl offers, and you can use that for inspiration, move things around. So it's pretty much very similar to how you can design your print-on-demand jewelry cards on Canva. All right, so we're gonna start with a template, and then we'll make one from scratch. If you look up here, you'll see categories of templates that Kittl offers, which is very convenient, very user-friendly, as you will discover basically defines all of Kittl. You have templates for cards. So you can either search for keywords, or you can just kind of browse, see if there's a style that you like. They separate by kind of broad niches too, like birthday, Christmas, weddings, Valentine's Day. And these are actually very popular for print-on-demand cards. So it's right on the nose. So I'm gonna check out the options for birthday cards. Let's see what we get. I like this one. All right, and from here, you just click on Use Design. Now, once you're in the designer tool, go to Settings, and as you can see, to modify the size, you do need to have one of the paid tiers. So that is something pretty important. But they also have pre-made sizes that you can use with the free tier. And this is how it'll look when you have the Pro plan or any paid tier. You will no longer have like a locked access to it. You can input the exact dimensions that you need. All right, so if you want to design with the final dimensions in mind, then you will need to edit them here, but do keep in mind that if you change it while designing, so our dimensions are 3.6 by 3.6 inches for jewelry on the front. So it doesn't scale the design, it kind of just creates the new canvas. So you would need to kind of go and just manually fix everything, but it's a little difficult because you can't see the elements. So I recommend to work with square designs if you're using templates, and then just download them with the dimensions that you need for the final product. And this is just for cards because they already have templates that fit like for t-shirt designs, hoodies, and other products. It's just cards and carded jewelry. Not many print providers have it, or not many people use this product compared to like apparel, for example. So that's kind of the difference why there aren't as many templates. But anyway, I digress. So this would pretty much be where the cutoff is on our mockup generator. So it's good that the important elements are here in the center. And these kinds of designs work both for bracelets and for necklaces, since the necklace pendant would be around here and the bracelet would go towards the edges of the box inside. Now from here you can change the color palette if you want, since you can change each part of the element. So you can change each element's color. So for example, if you wanted this dark red to be like the screen, then you can change it like that. So that's a really cool feature. Or you can change the whole background color, say green or just white, more minimalist. Or maybe you want it like a more pale pink. And then here you can add an option to customize it, like happy birthday, Bob, for example, or happy birthday and then your name here. Or you can also just add a longer text. You could also replace these corner elements by going here to elements, and this is where they shine besides the typography, which is, I think, their main selling point, is all the things that you can do with their typography. But for example, you can add in ornaments, so they have illustrations for that. You can do Victorian ornaments on the corners, raised panels. So for example, here you could put in like someone's name. You could do, for example, this. Let's say you want to put one on each corner. And then I duplicated that. And I'm just going to move it to this corner here, but more to the inside, because remember that it would get cut off because of the bleeding area. And I do want to change it to the other elements colors, so I would change it to this pink, change this one to this pink as well. It also has a texture added to it, so you can make this less opaque. You can change different settings. So for example, multiply it or leave it like that. You can add more illustrations. There's emojis, different themes, and then there's abstract ones. So there's a lot of things that you can add. Maybe, for example, want to add the watercolor. Maybe you want to add the watercolor here in the middle. Let's say instead of the flower, you put the person's name here. Let's duplicate this. And then in the layers. Okay, and then in the layers, I put the watercolor behind the second text box that I made. And then here I'm going to say your name. That's how it's going to look on the listing, but of course you would edit it every time you got an order for it. So happy birthday, your name. I like it, it's cute. Okay, and then I'm going to download it with the dimensions that I need, which are 3.31. I think earlier I said 3.6. That's my mistake. It's actually 3.31. Another cool thing about Kittl is that you can edit the DPI that you downloaded in, which you can't do in Canva as far as I'm aware. So I'm going to change that to 300 DPI. You can also remove the background, optimize quality, and you have a wide range of formats that you can download it in. So I'm just going to do PNG. And then I'm going to go to awkwardstyles.com and design a necklace. And I'm going to upload the file that I just downloaded from Kittl. Input the dimensions, center it. There we go. Hit preview. And this is what it would look like. I think it's pretty cute. So I just want to go through a quick rundown of things that you can do with Kittl, because this software is actually pretty amazing. So the first thing that you're going to find on your menu is a shortcut of all of your projects. And from here, you can move them or just delete them. But basically, you can move in between projects quickly, which is pretty cool, in my opinion. All right, and the next thing are templates. So we're under the category of cards, and Kittl automatically gives you all of the templates for cards right up at the top. So depending on the category is what you're going to get at the top. And like I mentioned earlier, they already have pre-made t-shirt templates, so those are going to come with the dimensions that you need automatically. or at least the most popular ones. But based on the category that you're on or keywords that you give Kittl, here directly on your menu, you can look for designs or elements that you think would fit what you're trying to create. So for example, you can make Christmas cards, you can make greeting cards, wedding cards. I think this one's pretty nice. Birthday cards. And from here, you don't even have to use the template directly. You can create a blank canvas and take elements from these templates as inspiration and create something completely new, which we saw in the previous lesson. So there's like thank you cards, Easter cards, which would pair nicely with our cross necklaces and our Jesus and faith necklaces, I think. New Year cards. And then you can move on to text elements. So you can kind of see what the vibe looks like for different fonts. You can see decorated fonts like this one. If you want to go above and beyond regular fonts, you can add paper letters, which I think is pretty cool, the kind of newspaper cutout style. And then you can go to elements, kind of like clip art, which you can use as a base or as part of your elements. And then from here you have pre-made masks, so they're like frames where you can insert images to, and they'll fit into this shape. Banners, which I think are good for like introductions at the top of your card, which would be like to my dearest or to the grad, for example, or at the bottom you can also put the person's name on this little banner. Badges, which I think would go well in the center for maybe bracelets, as the bracelet goes around and covers like the corners of the box. You can also do colorful shapes. So yeah, you can also do letter masks, which is pretty cool. And then this is where you keep your library of uploads. So if you have, for example, elements that you liked from Canva or that you created on different software, or maybe if you want to use photographs or images that you made somewhere else, this is where you can upload them and use them on Kittl. And then they also have stock images, which is pretty cool. I would say that this could be more for maybe like backgrounds, but I don't think it's really relevant for carded jewelry. However, very useful for other types of designs. And textures, another cool thing about Kittl. Like you saw on the previous card that I designed, it had a really cool texture over the light pale pink color that we had on the background going on. It also had kind of like a grunge texture over it, so it kind of adds personality. And the good thing about our cards is they come out sharp and vibrant, so you will be able to see the texture on it. Another pretty recent tool that Kittl released is the Kittl AI, and with this you describe what you want to create and you just give it a prompt and also select what style you'd like it to create it in, like vector style, patterns, and it creates it for you. Or you can just go ahead and pick one from here. All right, and then over here on the right, you'll see your layers, which you can move around directly from here. And you can also rename them. Up here, you'll see everything that you can do with text. Personally, my favorite is that you can do this like wave and rise that's been really popular lately. You can do it automatically and it's very user-friendly. You can modify it with just a few mouse movements, so I think that's pretty cool. You can also change just the colors of your elements, change the font, the weight of the font, make it thicker, thinner, the size, all of the basics. But yeah, I would say my favorite is definitely the transformation tools that you get for the fonts. You can also do these kinds of effects on it and also change the width of the effect, offset angle, all of that jazz. And then down here, you can select your color palette and it'll change the whole design. So they already have pre-made color palettes that you can work with. So for example, this is kind of like an autumny vibe, Barbie pink with the Barbie movie coming up, or something more monochrome like a grayscale. Those are some really nice things that you can do with Kittl. And if you go to the home page, you can search by hashtags, see what's trending right now. You can search even just by vibes, general things that you want to design by color palette, or if your niche is like pets, or if it's like retro designs. If you're looking for a certain type of font, you can also do that. Scrolling through a little bit so you can see what Kittl offers. And it's not only for print on demand or printables, things that you can actually make physically, but you can also do social media assets here. So it's good if you want to promote your products on social media. They also hold challenges where you submit designs when they're running a challenge, and then they set up prizes that you can win if your designs are selected. So how it works, you create a unique design, publish your design, and you get votes. And a lot of these winners you can see here on the homepage sometimes, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that was designing your print-on-demand cards with Canva and Kittl, beginner-friendly designer software. And now we're going to move on to the final module. Welcome to Module 7, how to come up with tags and keywords with tools like Everbee and Allura, aka the last module in the How to Sell Print-on-Demand Jewelry course. All right, so in this module, we're going to start off by talking about the importance of keywords and tags to search engine optimization. And I'm also going to explain a little bit about SEO. And then we're going to move on to Everbee, what it is, what features it has, the pricing model, how to install it, since it does have a very handy Chrome extension you can use, and how to use the keyword research suite. So we aren't going to go over all of the features, but we are going to go to one of the most popular tools, which is the keyword research suite. And then moving on to Allura, we're also going to talk about what it is and the features. It does have a cool new email sender, so we're going to talk about what that means for Etsy sellers. We're going to go over their pricing and, of course, how to use the keyword research tool. So see you in the next video. All right, folks, this is Everbee. So just a quick explanation, Everbee is a product research tool made for Etsy sellers. So a quick recap or a rundown of what you can do with Everbee. You have access to product analytics, and with this, you can track important metrics such as sales, revenue, and you can find products that are in demand. You also get access to reviews, visibility score, and conversion rate from your competitors. You get access to a shop analyzer, so you can analyze all of your competitors' listings as well. And the one that we're going to cover more in depth is the keyword research suite. You get access to search volume, competition, keyword score, and trends, and a tool called the tag analyzer, and another one called keyword metrics. You also have the listing rank tracker, and basically you get to see how the keywords for products are performing in search results. And you can see how your ranking has changed over the past week, or you can customize it to see the past month too. You also get a trademark monitor, so this basically kind of helps you out to see if any keywords or products you're using have a trademark on them, so you don't get flagged on Etsy. And you get access to the Etsy profit calculator, so that's pretty cool too. All right, moving on to the pricing to use Everbee. You get a free trial, and they have a free plan which they call the hobby plan, which you don't need a credit card to sign up for if you're trying to feel the app out. However, if you stay with the hobby plan, you only get 10 analytics searches per month. You do have access to revenue analytics and tags analytics, so that's something cool that you can try out during your first few weeks. Next is the Pro plan at $7.99 a month. You get 30 analytics searches per month. You also get the revenue analytics and the tag analytics, and you get unlimited favorites folder uses. And lastly, the $30 a month plan called the Growth plan. So everything, all of the tools that they have, you get unlimited access to. So if you click here on the button that says try for free, no credit card required, as you can see, you can either sign up with your Google account or connect it directly with your Etsy store, or you can manually input your information. If you sign in through your Etsy account, this is what you're going to get. You just need to grant Everbee permission to connect to your Etsy account, and you just click grant access, and this is what you're going to see once you're signed in. They also have, like I mentioned, a Chrome extension, so you can use Everbee tools right within your Etsy shop, so that's pretty cool. You just add to Chrome again. and this is what you'll see. Now we're back on Etsy, and as you can see, the extension gives you a kind of menu that you can hover over to open on the left-hand side of Etsy. And Everbee gives you a guide too. Right here, a little bubble, start here. Click here to analyze all the products on the page. All right, so let's go back to Everbee, and we're gonna go to keyword research. There are two ways that you can use their keyword research tool. The first one is directly on Everbee. So you go to the keyword research tab under their menu, and right away you're gonna see a few concepts. So the first one is search volume, and this is the number of times a keyword or a phrase was searched for on Etsy during the last 30 days. So the higher this number is, the better chance it gives you of generating traffic. However, this is in combination with the next concept, which is competition. And that is the number of listings on Etsy that are using this keyword. And the keyword score helps you gauge which keywords are being searched for a lot and have low competition. So basically that's the combination that you want to achieve: a high search volume with the least amount of listings using that keyword as possible, so that you can get a high keyword score. And the other way that you can use their keyword research tool is directly on Etsy. So you go to their search bar and then you search something related to what you're trying to sell. So in our case, it is jewelry. So we're going to maybe put like jewelry gift box. So for example, there's jewelry gift box, jewelry gift for her. So right away you can see that jewelry gift box has 5K monthly searches, jewelry gift has 15K, and jewelry gifts has 19K. Since this one has a high search volume, I'm going to go ahead and click on it to see what the competition is like. And right away I can see that there aren't any listings that are similar to the print-on-demand ones that we have. But they do have like the birthstones that we have, for example. They have initial necklaces, little heart necklaces that we have for kids' jewelry. So there's definitely a place for print-on-demand jewelry here, especially since you're going to tap into that emotional side with the card. All right, so you can see on the second page, there is one with a card on the back. So that's pretty cool to see it there among the top searches. So let's go ahead and analyze jewelry gifts on Everbee directly. All right, so unfortunately, the keyword score is 0, since although the search volume is high, there are over 8 million listings with this keyword. And although it does give you quite a lot of suggestions, if you're on the free plan, you'll only be able to see the top 3. But we can search up, for example, jewelry gifts for her. It does have a little higher score, which is 10, but if you look at the one below it, gifts for her, I guess misspelled, the volume is 21K searches per month, and the competition is very low. So let's go ahead and search gifts for her. I would imagine this gets popular more around like Valentine's Day, for example, maybe Mother's Day, maybe even Christmas, you know, Q4 that's coming up. And you can also take advantage of evergreen niches using this keyword, like birthdays, bridesmaids, friendship, hobbies. Actually, it looks like jewelry and necklaces are on the top results, so that's pretty cool. Also, other custom print-on-demand things. This one's pretty funny. Custom face socks. Oh, there it is, one that's similar to our listings. Now, I'm going to kind of use like a snowball effect, I would say, and or a train of keywords until I find ones that I want. So we already have gifts for her. That's what I'm gonna write down and take advantage of. And then since I have the free plan and I can't see all of the other suggested words, I'm gonna just enter gifts for her and then see what the top 3 suggestions are based on that one. Aren't many. In that case, I'm gonna search for other ideas. And the nice thing about Etsy is that it's very similar to Google in that it gives you suggestions based on what people are searching for. So I'm gonna put gifts for her, spelled correctly, and gifts for her necklace. Let's see what that gives us. 13K searches. Let's see, gifts for her necklace. Let's see what the competition is like. Competition is 10, so it's not the best. Gifts for her, let's try birthday friend. Well, it's not too high. Gifts for her jewelry. The keyword score isn't too bad. Gifts for her birthday friend. Volume is 5K per month. Competition, there are 216K listings. I searched up other possible keywords just based on the products that we have. And another example that I wanted to put in was cross necklace, which Everbee tells me there is about 1,600 searches per month, and the competition is about 216K listings, so the keyword score isn't too high. However, in the related keywords, it gave me the top 3 necklace ring, and that one kind of caught my eye. There are about 16K results and 478K listings, so that's about 30 for keyword score. And this caught my attention because we do have a necklace that's just kind of like a circle, and I think this could be a good keyword that you can use for that necklace. And the other thing that you can do that kind of contributes to keyword and tag and phrase SEO is under product analytics. You can search your product, so for example, custom necklace, and it's going to show you what others title their products, and these are kind of like best-selling products. So for example, Mother's Day for gift, they sell it at $49. This is how many sales approximately they have per month, the monthly revenue, total sales, etc. It tells you what category they're in, so that can also help you with your SEO when you set up your category for your listing. And when you open up the product itself, you can see what keywords they're using. And again, with the free version, you don't really get access to all of the tags and the keywords, but still, I think it's pretty cool to have, especially once you decide to upgrade if you do want to keep using Everbee. This birth flower necklace, custom name jewelry, and birthday gift. So when using keywords, you kind of want to use both broad keywords, niche keywords, and then long tail keywords. And long tail keywords are when you use phrases that are very specific to your product from the perspective of the buyer. But you also want those general keywords for when your listing starts ranking, so that it'll also come up with these common phrases that are looked for. We can also go here, personalized name necklace, custom name necklace, or a letter necklace. So you can do, for example, like the initials. And as you can see here in the title, they're using keywords: letter necklace, name necklace, perfect for your minimalist look. So the keyword they used was minimalist. And gifts for mom. There's also birthstone necklace, and keywords they use are birthstone necklace, personalized jewelry, necklace for women, monogram, mother name, gift grandma, mama. And these are successful listings, as you can see from the data that Everbee is giving us. So you're going to want to implement as much info as you can that is relevant to your listing, of course. And although keywords aren't the only thing that you're going to want to focus on when it comes to listings, you also want to focus on, images and descriptions and your pricing and all of that. But keywords are an essential part that you want to focus on. You don't want to leave it aside when you start focusing on other parts of your listing. Okay, so this was kind of an intro to how you can use Everbee to find keywords, how the Chrome extension works, and how you can analyze your competitors. But if you do want to see more in-depth content about this, let us know. You can email us at marketing@awkwardstyles.com or support@awkwardstyles.com, or DM us, and we'll create more specific content on something that you'd like to see. In the next video, we're going to talk about Allura. Okay, so you can start for free, again, with no credit card. And from here, yes, I'm an Etsy seller, and start using Allura. And you'll be redirected to your dashboard. All right, so before we connect our Etsy shop, let's just kind of look through what the experience with Allura is like in general. So right off the bat, I do feel a little bit less overwhelmed than I did when going into Everbee the first time. And that's just because on Everbee, it takes you straight away to keyword analysis. And on Allura, you kind of get to explore what it offers you first without it giving you results for something already. So over here, it gives you resources as well for beginners, like the Beginner's Guide to Etsy Product Photography. It tells you what's going on with Etsy currently, so that's pretty cool. Etsy news. And it even has an e-commerce holiday calendar. So for example, National Ice Cream Day is coming up, World Emoji Day, and they also offer you video tutorials. So that's pretty cool when a platform guides you to how to use their tools to get the most out of your money. And another thing that I really like is that they have a getting started checklist. So it gives you a guide right from the start. So we're gonna go ahead and connect our test shop. And again, it's just going to ask for your permission to connect your account. You're going to grant access, and then it'll redirect you back to your dashboard. All right, and the next step it says is try making a keyword search with the keyword finder. So we're gonna go to the keyword finder. And again, let's think about something that's related to the product that we're learning about, which is print-on-demand jewelry. But a buyer isn't going to search for print-on-demand jewelry. They're going to find something that benefits them or that they want to buy. And print-on-demand jewelry is very popular in the gifting general niche. So that's what we're gonna go when looking for keywords. So maybe we can say necklace for her. Let's see what Allura gives us as opposed to Everbee. Okay, so a quick overview. It gives us a lot more stats than Everbee did, at least on the free plan. It's telling us how many views the keyword has. And what I'm understanding is that this isn't over the last 30 days like Everbee does. This may be lifetime stats. So I actually kind of prefer over the last 30 days rather than lifetime. But this is also helpful. So it gives you the average price that the listings go for. So $286, how many people have viewed it, how many people have favorited listings that rank for this keyword, and how many shops are competing, 529. So the views are 20.6 million and the competition is 500K. Sales are 380K. So it kind of looks like it's a good keyword. Something that I like about Allura is that even on the free plan, just starting out, you get to see a lot more related keywords to it, and you also get to see the popularity by percentage. But if you're on the free plan, then you only get kind of like 10 tokens per se. You can only do 10 keyword searches. So either you would have to wait another month to use Allura if you don't want to upgrade to a higher plan, or you would have to upgrade to one of the paid tiers. And since it is more expensive than Everbee, I would recommend really doing your research and see if it's a good fit if you know what you want to do with your shop, or first focus on what you want to do on your shop and then maybe invest in this so you don't lose money on paying for tools that you don't quite understand yet. Something else that I like about Allura is that if you hover over a keyword and you click on this little arrow, you get to see Google Trends for that keyword and interest over time. So you can see like if there's a season when the keyword performs better, if it's trending, and so like if it's maybe going from down and then you see that it's starting to go up steadily, that means that you need to get on that trend and start selling that product or a product with that tag right away. So for example, gifts for her, it trends every so often. There's a gift for her, gifts for her, gift for mom, dainty necklace, gemstone necklace, personalized jewelry. These are all good keywords that you can use. Moving on to the tab next to the overview, you get more analytics. You can see kind of the average price, the least expensive, the most expensive. Although I don't think these always apply to what you're selling, because of course there's going to be a wide range of products, so I wouldn't take these into account if you're selling our specific print-on-demand carded jewelry items. Maybe they're selling bundles, I'm not sure. But going down, you get even more information about what they're using to rank. So listing categories, for example, when you're creating your listing, it shows you how they categorize their product. So they categorized it under jewelry, necklaces, and then more specifically pendant necklaces. Then there's charm necklaces, monogram and name necklaces, and you can see which ones are more popular. So for example, since the necklaces that we have do have pendants, I would go ahead and use pendant necklaces as one of the categories. And then here you can also see what their average processing time is, how many of them offer customization, how many of them are digital listings, and which ones are fit into the kind of craft, supply, tool, ingredient category of listings, which doesn't apply to print on demand really. And then moving on to the last tab, you get to see the specific listings that are ranking highest for this keyword. So this will give us even more information about their tags and what they're doing to have a good amount of sales. So for example, one that caught my attention is gemstone birthstone necklace. Their price is $45. They have over 86,000 favorited and about 688 monthly sales. We're gonna go ahead and learn more about this listing. All right, even though it is different, we could still see how we can relate this to our product, because it is important to know you don't want to steal other people's product exactly. You don't want to copy their listing, you don't want to copy their store, and you don't want to copy their designs. You just want to kind of draw inspiration from it and see how you can apply it to your unique product. So from here, in this case, we see that it's ranking well. And even though it's not the exact same as our products, I think that we can find which tags could apply for us. So for example, Mother's Day necklace, maybe gemstone necklace if you're using our birthstones, gift for her, birthstone necklace. So you're going to basically pick and choose from best-selling listings and kind of piece together your own best-selling listing. You can also go ahead and view it directly on Etsy and take a look at what images they're using, what assets they have, look at their description, and see what keywords they're using or how they're describing their order as well. You can look at their reviews, and you can find related products. So just like any other business, this isn't something super easy where everything is going to be done for you right off the bat, but these tools definitely help guide you. And that's the cool thing about others having success with print on demand and with selling online, because they know what hardships are out there and they know what kind of tools would help guide you to find success. If you made it all the way here, I just want to thank you for watching all of these modules. I hope you took notes. I hope you learned lots. This is definitely just a beginner's roadmap to kind of help you understand what it is you need to understand in print on demand. I do say my final goodbyes in the next video, but I'm very glad to have you here, and cheers to learning more and growing your business with Awkward Styles. Welcome to the end of the course. Congratulations for taking action and having the initiative to educate yourself about what print on demand is. I am so proud of you. Let's have our editor add some claps and celebration noises in there. Wow! Yay! Thank you, Gemma. All right, so a quick plug. Of course, you know our website, awkwardstyles.com. Once you sign up, you will be getting some emails from me, just with some updates about our catalog, any important information that you need. And we also update you guys constantly on our social media. So we've got LinkedIn, Twitter, Insta, YouTube, TikTok, all the things. So these are our handles if you do want to follow us and talk to us over there. We are very open to feedback. We love hearing your ideas about what you like and what you think would improve your experience on awkward styles. So go ahead and slide in our DMs. And again, thank you for watching our course. See you around our social media.